Do you know Michael Burry? You know the guy who shorted the housing market, the Big Short?
Michael, whenever you find something interesting,
We all sit and make money. What stock are you about?
No stock. I want to short the housing market.
A legend at spotting value opportunities, his go-to metric when sifting through the thousands of stocks out there is a ratio called EV Ebitda. What it means, how it's calculated, and why it's so useful. Coming up. It's so good to see you. This channel is dedicated to helping you build your rapidly growing, highly diversified net worth one video at a time. And if you'd like to use individual stock selection as one of the ways to get there, you need to be familiar with this metric. EV over EBITDA is pretty easy to understand when you're familiar with its components. Now, I've created videos on each of them, so if you haven't already, you should probably watch those first. I'll put their links in the description below. So you may want to pause this video, open another tab, or click over to them and come back to this one, whatever you want to do, but you should probably watch those videos first. The EV in this equation stands for enterprise value, which is essentially a theoretical takeover price. It's the net effect on your financial position if you actually wanted to buy out an entire company. EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, is used as a more accurate representation of a company's current performance. A lot of successful investors also use EBIT, earnings before interest and taxes. Again, check out either of those videos if you're not totally clear on what all goes into these metrics. By dividing a company's enterprise value by its EBIT or EBITDA, you are able to compare the value of a company free of debt, the EV, to its earnings, regardless of its capital structure, the EBIT. This puts companies on a more level playing field. It allows you to compare businesses within the same industry or sector to identify anomalies or mispricings. It's a lot closer to an apples to apples comparison, but it should not be the sole basis for an investment idea upon which you trade. Additional analysis is absolutely still required. There is often a reason, sometimes justified, sometimes not. That's the opportunity for the discrepancies that you'll find using this metric. The EV over EBIT or EBITDA ratios provide an amazing starting point. I'd say better than the price to earnings ratio in your sifting or screening process that can help dramatically reduce the overwhelm that comes from staring at the mountain that is the thousands of stocks in which you could potentially invest. If you're interested in an example of this metric being used for valuation purposes, you may be interested in one that I'm extremely familiar with, the first article I wrote for Seeking Alpha. It was by using this ratio in my sifting process that I found the featured stock. It was also through a thorough understanding of EV EBITDA that I was able to come up with what I felt was a fair value for the company. A number that conservatively implied a more than 200% upside. It seemed obvious to me, and it was because of these metrics and these ratios that I was able to find it. Over the year and a half since that article was first published, the stock has gone up by more than 250%. In the description, I'll link out to a list of all the trades I've ever published so that I'm not just cherry picking here. But if you're interested in learning more about how this ratio can be used, you might enjoy at least skimming the logic and analysis I detailed in that article. In fact, if you're interested in the stock selection that I continue to do like this, you're the reason I created my Patreon page. It's the place where I share all my research with my private community of interested and concerned investors. You'll find it at patreon.com/Steven Spicer. Whatever you do, I sincerely hope this has been helpful for you. If you're new here, congratulations on taking this step towards building your rapidly growing, highly diversified net worth. Don't stop learning. Click subscribe, then click the bell, and you'll be well on your way to future success. I look forward to seeing you again. One of these videos would be a great next step. Take care.